This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your host, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Well, Travis, you spent the weekend in Grand Rapids with us and consumed an obscene amount of hot dogs. How do you feel?
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, we're talking about it. You did not. There's no way you didn't think this was going to be the cold open of the show. Come on. You did the 9-9 challenge at LMCU Ballpark. Congratulations, you completed it. And the Whitecaps dominated in that game too, so that was fun. But you survived.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought until I got to that last beer, which was technically more beer than what the original game of the 9-9 calls for.
Oh God.
And I was just like, this is death. That last one took forever. I was like, ugh. But starting out with 6 dogs in 2 innings was totally the move, because then you're pretty much on cruise control eating wise. It's just the drinking.
You got fortunate with some long innings there too, honestly. That was the top of the 8th or the bottom of the 7th, whatever it was, where the Whitecaps put up 8 in that inning. Yeah, you had some time.
That inning, I think, was I was telling my buddy yesterday, I was like, dude, I think that inning was an hour in and of itself.
It felt like it.
You had him done before then, though.
You were. I think he was nursing the last beer at that point.
Dude, that last one was brutal.
Hey, and you made it. You did it. You don't have to do it ever again.
Well, the thing too with it is I was sitting there and I was like, I don't know what beer I want to drink. And I think I even went through this with both of you. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin Miller Lite because Miller Lite's pretty good.
Hey, no free ads.
I was like, I can't, whatever. So then I was like, I can't do Ultra. I don't like Michelob Ultra. And then there was Bud Light. And I was like, you know what? If there's a beer to ruin this, that's the one I'm going to just ruin, because I don't drink it. And I don't care. So I was like, that's what we went with. And I'm glad I didn't throw up. I fully anticipated on throwing up. Had I done the 9 of the ones I drank, I would have died. Literally died.
We didn't even have to carry him out of the stadium, so it was a win all around. He completed it, and we didn't have to haul him out of there. So
no,
a good time.
It wasn't bad at all. I thought it was going to be way worse than what it was, and in reality, I was like, this isn't so bad, but you still don't feel great, especially after. And then we went to the karaoke bar, and then I was like, yeah, I'm done for the night. I'm ready for bed.
Probably would have had to carry me out if I would have continued. I knew when I had to stop.
Yeah, you attempted the challenge with non-alcoholic beers because you're not a drinker. Which at the end of the day, you look at the challenge and go, man, he's just getting full, not even getting buzzed. So it might be more brutal, honestly, to have to consume a ton of beer that you're not even getting the buzz from. So you tried. You did try. You were more of a man than me at that point, because I was like, I'm having nothing to do with this. I'm gonna watch.
I offered you my hot dogs. You didn't want them.
I kind of forgot about them, honestly.
Well, yeah, they were sitting under his seat.
Yeah, that happens.
I think when I came down for the second, came back in the second inning, and I had 3 more hot dogs and 2 more beers, you just looked at me. You're like, this is like a walk in the park.
Yeah, you were prepared. I feel like you trained for this. You were built for this, and you succeeded. So, hey, man, you did it, and it was great having you up in town this weekend. Got a lot of work done for the pod. A lot of fun stuff that we're going to be able to do throughout the season as well, having you a little more trained up on some of the tools that we have. So it's going to give us the ability to give the fans a ton more content this year. So I'm glad you got to do that. And of course, it's always good to get to hang out with you too. So glad we got to do that. And for everybody else, welcome back to the Hockeytown West podcast, your source for everything Grand Rapids Griffins and Toledo Walleye hockey. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Travis.
And today we don't have any news and updates to share. It's kind of hit that really quiet point of the off season. No crazy things to go about, but we do have a Grand Rapids Griffins interview for you all finally. Bringing him back for his third time on the show with us, Amadeus Lombardi, guy who's been on the show every year he's played in the pros so far. Always a treat to have. We know he's a fan favorite. And boy, does this interview have a ton of funny stories in it from this past season. Before we jump to that, though, if you haven't yet, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the interview. And if you're listening to us anywhere, make sure you hit a follow, leave a review on the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. That's how you guys can help us grow. But without further ado, we'll throw it to a quick ad break, and then we'll throw it to Amadeus Lombardi. All right, fans, we've done a ton of Toledo content this offseason. It was time to get some Griffins back on the show. And who better to have on the show than the guy that's been on here literally every season he's played in the pros so far. Detroit Red Wings 2022 4th-round pick, drafted 113th overall, still holds the record for most points in a single season with the Flint Firebirds. And, just went from 5 goals to 19 last season with the Griffins, one of the biggest jumps on the team. Welcome back to the Hockeytown West podcast. Amadeus Lombardi, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. Thank you for having me. It's been a good summer, but it's going by pretty fast. I can't lie.
Yeah, we're all getting that itch to be back in the arena for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got to start off with a fan question. And this is the fan I might have mentioned to you prior to recording. What is in the mason jar that you're carrying into pregame every single time we see a picture of you before a game?
So it's honestly not even, I can't believe it became a thing, because it's just I would do it in juniors, but I didn't have mason jars, so I would just do it in an empty water bottle. Espresso, 4 or 5 shots of espresso, a lot of espresso in there, ice, a little bit of cold water, and honey. Raw honey, and that's it. And I just shake it up, and I make it before I do my pregame nap, and I put it in the fridge. So, and I just drink on that. I'll sip on it through our meetings, and then before the game, and I'm pretty wired. So, and then on the road, I'll kind of do the same thing. I'll just get espresso from Starbucks.
Of course, fans were what's in the jar?
Yeah, I know. And there was one game I was I think my mom made these protein Snickers bars when she came to visit me, and they're super good, and I was gonna eat them before the game, so I had them in my hand, and for some reason the photographers edited them out, but then had them in another pic, so people thought it was maybe fun Snickers bars, you know what I'm saying? So so I was man, so yeah. So that was the whole thing too.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Are you selling this this mixture throughout the season this year? Can we sell it, trademark it? As,
Which
what
one?
are the rights to this ingredients?
Which one? The Snickers bars or the
now
espresso?
Both.
Well, yeah, your mason jar, your pregame.
drink. I mean, that's the recipe. It's simple. And then my mom, I've never made them. She makes them so good. It's the base, the crumble is vanilla protein powder and coconut flour and a little bit of maple syrup to keep it sticky. The caramel topping is peanut butter and dates, which sounds gross, but it's delicious. And dates and cinnamon, and then it's just some chocolate over top, and you freeze them, and they're really good.
Sounds awesome.
It wouldn't be a Hockeytown West episode without getting a recipe out of you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I got a few more. If you guys need them.
Start right off the bat. So how has the offseason been treating you so far, Amo? We see you've been putting some work in on Instagram through the camps, but what have you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. Like I said, going by fast. The best is always, first 2 weeks when you come home, you're so excited. You're seeing family, you're seeing friends. You're so, you kind of put the season aside a little bit and just focus on everything else, and you can kind of just relax and decompress, and then obviously you get to work. So that's kind of what it's been. It's just been working out, skating a ton. Me and my brother, we do everything together, and then just obviously trying to put on weight. So I'm just like Mazer said a couple years ago, professional eater. I feel the only thing I'm worried about is my next meal. What is my next meal going to be? What am I making? So, but it's been fun for sure.
You mentioned your mom making you food, and you've talked before with the guys about family and how much they mean to you. Have you been treating them to some of those famous Chef Ammo dinners we've heard about?
No, because I come home and we got a packed house here. We got 8 people and 9 people in our house. Got my brother, my sister, mom, dad, nana, nonno. My great grandma was here for a little bit as well, but she had to move away for a couple months, and she's 98. She's a trooper. And yep. And now my aunt is visiting too from Florida. So we got a packed house, and my mom and my nana take care of the cooking. So even when I'm in Grand Rapids, every time I come home for like Christmas or All-Star break, I come back with just a suitcase full of sauce and cured meats and cheeses and all that stuff. So I got some of the guys on that, some of that Italian stuff. So it's been good.
There you go.
That's why you go home,
Yeah.
right? That's why you go home to get the home cooked meals, and you don't got to do it.
So good. It's way better than what I do. That's for sure.
So each time you've been on the show, you talked about your love of music, and a couple times you told us about picking up the guitar. How's learning that going?
I haven't done it, but I've been listening to. I know. I honestly just like don't have the time and like effort to like sit down and teach myself the guitar. Like my brother plays guitar; he's good. But I love to sing. I like singing, but other than that, I haven't gotten anywhere on the guitar. But I've been definitely listening to music. Just sometimes when you get back from the gym, you chill outside in the sun with your headphones on. It's pretty nice. So that's kind of like my go-to when I need to decompress.
When you're picking a song, does it take you a while to do it? We might have heard that you take forever to pick songs, whether it be goal songs, edit songs. You might know who that came from.
Yeah. I definitely take my time when it's when it's like for something, but like when I'm just listening to music, it's whatever I have. But yeah, I don't know if we're doing goal songs again, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I haven't even thought about it, so maybe I gotta put some thought into that. I liked Hey Jude last year.
That was a good one. That was a really good one. And a little birdie did tell us that you might want to start thinking about that now to save her some trouble.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I liked it. It was different. You know what I mean? It was different. I grew up like such a big fan of the Beatles, and they're my favorite band. So it was kind of like a full circle moment when you hear that song, and especially like the first goal I scored of the season. My mom was there in the building, and like she heard it, and she's like, I started crying, and I was like, so it's cool. I liked it for that reason, but I'll probably change it.
Yeah.
We did hear it a lot last year.
Yeah, for a bit,
It was good.
Yeah. Better than the first year, that's for sure.
So I do want to get the negative out of the way from last season first. Let's talk through the injury. Just you obviously had a rough injury. You missed a good amount of time there. What was the biggest thing you learned about yourself coming back from that?
Yeah, so that was that was a tough time, just because like before the injury, like before everything got disclosed, like we didn't know what was going on, and like I would wake up with such bad pain, like, and couldn't like walk, it was so bad. I wasn't even like practicing. So I was just like playing games, and like we didn't know what it was, and I was like, man, like am I just like soft? Like what's going on? Like everything was bugging me. We couldn't figure it out. And for the first 20 games of the season, I was playing hurt. It started in camp. And then we got the news, and I saw the doctor, and he told me he thought it was something else. And then when he called me like 2 days later, and he told me what it was, he's like, yeah, you're going to be out like 8 to 12 weeks. And I was like, oh, like it was like everything just came crashing down. But it was like almost a relief, to the point where it's like, I know what I have now. We can like deal with it. And like the staff in Detroit and in Grand Rapids, I went to Detroit a couple times, but in Grand Rapids, staff did an unbelievable job just like getting me healthy, getting me ready. I was probably a little bit of a pain, to be honest, just like being on there when we came up with the return to play program. Like I was probably pissed them off a little bit, but it was so good, and they did such a good job having me ready. For my first game back, I felt good. But the biggest thing for me was just when the team would go on the road and I'd be by myself. Like it's hard. It weighs on you a little bit. You just want to be with the team. We started struggling a little bit, and like I just wanted to help the team. I wanted to be there for the guys watching, the games. You're itching to come back. So it definitely taught me, definitely taught me a few things, and the biggest thing was just, appreciate what you have, because it can be gone in a second. And I had some guys that helped me out just when they were home, just always coming over, being by my side, So when I came back, it was really just the staff, my teammates, everyone kind of helped get me ready. So it was good.
Did anything in your game improve from having to watch that whole time? Like, were you able to pick up on anything when you came back?
That's a good question. I think there is, when you do watch from up top, the game looks completely different. Like when you're down there, it looks so fast, it's so hard, but like when you're up top, it looks, slower. And like you can kind of see like how much time you do have in certain moments. And for me, I don't know if I think that what really helped me was that I got stronger from the injury, like after from doing all this work and recovery. And like we picked up on little things that were like bugging me during the recovery process that was like, okay, like this is going to feel so much better now when I play. And, just having that strength, being able to lean on guys, having the confidence of like, all right, I can take contact and I'm not going to be hurt. So it was more for that for sure.
Was there something like, was there any guys that you could go to that, you'd missed time in the past that you could lean on when you were coming back?
Yeah, I mean, the first guy that comes to mind is like Crosser, because in his first year he dealt with that shoulder injury. So we kind of talked about that, and just like, obviously like veteran guys, Waddy, I'm sure he's been through the ringer before, and he had my back after he was on me when I was playing, because again, no one knew what it was. He was on me hard, and then when we found out he had my back, he was like, "You're a warrior." So he talked me through it, and like everyone's kind of gone through their own injury, so all the boys were really by my side, and it made it that much easier. Even like Mazer, like me and Maze were training and skating together for a couple months before he came back, like a month before me, I think, few weeks before me. So like, he's been through some tough injuries, and I was kind of leaning on him a little bit too. And we would hang out sometimes when the team went on the road. So that was good for me as well.
So I did catch you on TV while you were injured in the post game or the pregame with I think Trevor Thompson was up there. What was it like being up in Detroit during that time? What did you learn? How was that like?
Yeah, it was cool. It was only for like a couple days. I actually remember when I got a message from someone saying that they, fans saw me on TV or whatever. I actually remember it happening because I was walking to my seat to like up in the press box with Dwayne Blaze, like our skills coach. And we walked by the camera, and I saw myself in the reflection of the camera, and I was like, oh, like, so anyways, but no, that was super cool just to like be around the team, see old buddies like Marco, Simon, Albert, see how they're doing. And then, all the guys in the Red Wings like heard about it, and they were all super supportive with me through the injury, even guys like, I remember I had a pretty cool conversation with Kane just like after the game, telling me, he's like, like you're doing super well up there, like you'll be back to it, and just kind of reassuring that confidence in me. And just like, I think he was actually going through an injury at the same time too. So that was pretty cool. Just to kind of be around that environment and watch the NHL game from up top. It was definitely a really cool experience, even if it was for like a couple of days.
Very cool.
Yeah. I got bagged there though. I got bagged there. The on ice stuff was hard. I was skating like for an hour by myself, and I was dead. But it was really good. Anyways, what were you saying?
Does it kind of like prepare you for like those next steps? Like, did that help at all?
Like as far as to like coming back from injury?
No,
yeah,
just
I think
like,
so. Oh,
well, that too, but like also to like to be prepared for the NHL life.
I think so. Like that's kind of the way I wanted to look at it, is like, okay, like look at how a guy goes through their day, or like look at how a guy prepares, look at how the game moves. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of what I was doing. I was watching the game from up top and trying to like really, really pay attention. We had our game going on too, so I was kind of going back and forth. But no, it was definitely a cool experience, and kind of like motivated me to be like, I want this someday. Like, this is what I want to do. This is where it's where you want to be, So that was pretty cool. And even to like pick guys' brains about how the game's going. I think like Mott was hurt too, and Kane as well, and just kind of like pick their brain, what they think on the ice, like what they're seeing. Like after, obviously I didn't want to bother them during the game, but after when they came to talk to me. So little stuff like that, like I find super interesting. And those guys are, unbelievable hockey players. You want to know what they have to say. So
I think too, like one point during the season, like once you had come back, you were like, it was during practice, the Griffins had released the footage. Like you were talking in the background, like you had gotten a text from Larkin. I think that's what it was. Can you share? No, or
I don't know if I honestly, like,
might not have been
I
him.
didn't get it. No. I didn't get a text from from Larkin. I didn't get a text from Larkin during the injury. Like, he talked to me when I saw him and was like super supportive, but maybe I was talking about my first year before going to Grand Rapids. We were playing last preseason game against the Leafs in Toronto, and I had a bunch of family going there. And Larks texted me in the morning and just said like, hey, like, I got 4 tickets for you for your family. I had like 60
that's
people at the
big.
game, and that was really nice that he did that. So he got tickets for like my immediate family.
That's awesome.
So that was like a really cool thing. I could have been talking about that, but no, yeah, not recently. But that was a really cool moment for sure, and I really appreciated it.
That's
So, yeah.
so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
What a captain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was cool.
I want to talk about some positives from last year. You went from 5 goals to 19.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump. Like, what happened? Was it more confidence, finding a new role, just blossoming? Like, what was it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's kind of a combination of all those things, like going into the last summer, I was extremely motivated, I kind of felt like I found my stride near the end of the year. But we had such a deep lineup that still it was hard to make an impact just with like minimal ice, right? But I felt like I could do this. So going into the summer, I was motivated. I worked on a ton of different things, had a ton of people in my corner. And then going into the season, you have that confidence. You have that confidence from your coach as well and like players around you. And, I felt like I had a good camp last year, but then, start of the game, the first 2 games, I was, I started on the fourth line again, right? And it was kind of like we had such a deep lineup, and I was kind of like, man, like really gonna have to work my way up. Like, I hope, maybe play the wing. Like, I remember they talked about throwing me on the wing, like, but I played the first 2 games on the fourth line with like not a lot of ice, and I was like, man, like I need to like change something. Marco obviously got called up. I moved up to that third line spot, and I had a good game against Winnipeg, and it kind of just all carried over from there, and kind of just like grew my confidence through those first 20 games. And then when I came back from injury, it's like, okay, like I know I can do this now. And, I was able to score some goals. I still don't think like I'm definitely more of a passer, but I think sometimes when you pass too much, people know that, right? If you start shooting a little bit more, it'll open up both options for you. So it's definitely something that I worked on. And, I played with some great line mates too. I think me, Dries, and Shine at the end of the year started to really find some chemistry playing together.
So like you touched on it a little bit too, like our power play was not the greatest last year for Grand Rapids, but your power play numbers jumped. Like, it was just you were shooting, or it was like instead of looking for those passes like you were in Flint? Like, what was going on?
Maybe I feel like before, like, okay, so my first year I played a little bit of power play, but mainly like second unit, right? And like the second unit doesn't get as much as the first, obviously. And then this year when I came back from injury, Steph had me on the top unit, and I think like we kind of just when we were moving the puck around. I mean, obviously it's the AHL, guys, it's always changing. Guys get called up, guys come back down. But when we found a groove and we're moving the puck around well, like our power play was moving well. And I think just like I said before, when the shot's there, and we had good net front guys this year, when the shot's there, like I'm gonna take it. And I kind of have a few spots I like to try and pick. And if you shoot more, then a pass opens up, right? And I'm naturally more of a passer. So I felt like once we got set up, and once we started getting comfortable with each other, our power play was good. It's just about being consistent now, and myself included. It's something that I got to work on as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Now you talk about your confidence growing as the season went on. Was there a game this past season where you showed up and you were just like, I'm running the show tonight, or where the puck just kept finding you left and right, and you were like, wow?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, like I said, it kind of carries over from last year. I remember last year having a few games near the end of the year where it's like I don't even think I scored, but like, because I scored 5 goals all year, but like I like got like a couple nice assists, or like I was just like on the puck a lot. I feel like that's when I'm on my best, when like I'm on the puck, I'm carrying the puck up, like I'm making plays, I'm stripping, kind of all over the ice, right? So I feel like this year, it was kind of that Winnipeg game or the Manitoba game at home, right? I never had a 2-goal game before. Yeah, it was like a big win, a big game for myself, and it kind of like launched my confidence. And then from that game, we went on the road. We played in Springfield, and we had another big win. And I didn't have any points that game, but I remember it being a game where it's like I should have had like 2 or 3 maybe. Like I had so many chances, I couldn't score, like made plays. It was like another confidence game. And then we played Lehigh, and I had a big game in I had a big weekend in Lehigh. And I remember coming back from that trip just being like, okay, like I got to keep this rolling. I got to, obviously there's other stuff I got to work on, but like I got to, keep putting the puck in the net. And my confidence just was growing at that point. You know what I mean? So it was definitely good. But I definitely think coming back from injury, it was definitely more noticeable. Like I just felt better on the ice. I felt stronger. Like when I was playing hurt, I felt super unstable. So
Yeah, it still blows my mind that you said you were playing hurt through that whole time. I'm like, wow.
we
Like,
just didn't know what
production
it
you had then
was.
too
like,
was still great, and then when you came back, obviously you were feeling way better because the
yeah,
production was off
exactly.
the charts.
Just like much stronger. Yeah, like we didn't know like what it was, but once everything got sorted out and the dust settled, like they were so on the ball with me, and they helped me out so much, and they got me back ready to go. Like I felt good right from the hop. Like I didn't feel, even like my first game, like I didn't feel like out of shape or like scared. Like I was just like, let's go. Like I've been waiting so long. Like I need to move. I need to play. So that was definitely a fun one for sure.
You come back and you go down the stretch and the games mean more later in the year. Did you feel your game change at all? Like the flip of the switch that some people talk about late in the season into the playoffs? Like, did you find another gear, or was it just about keeping calm and doing your thing?
I think a little bit of both. I think you always have to like rise and elevate your game. Like for me, it's just about like trying to be better than I was the game before. Like every game, just like be better. Try and be better. 1% better every day, like carries over. I know it's cliche, but it's true. And I think like especially when some veteran guys get like, obviously like my offense is there, but when some veteran guys get called up and we have a bit of a younger lineup, it's like, okay, it's my second year. I need to help out my team on both ends of the puck. It's something that I need to grow in my game for sure, but it's like I got to play against the other team's best players. Like I need to be strong in all areas of my game. Like I need to really hunker down to like help the team win. And like that was something that I feel like was good for my development, and also just in the playoffs, right? I feel like the third game, I mean, like I'm gonna be mad talking about it because I just felt like we had such a good team. We could have gone so much further. It was unfortunate, but like I feel like in the third game in the playoffs, it was definitely my best of the three. And that's kind of, I was like, okay, like I found my game. Like last year in the playoffs I played, but again, you're playing minimal minutes, right? So it's like, okay, I'm playing bigger minutes now. Like I'm ready to go. I'm kind of found in it. So yeah, I mean, I try and grow every game if I can.
Is there another gear for this season?
I think for me this year, like 100%, you have to find another gear. But for me, like a big focus of mine is just rounding out my game, like playing more mature, being good on both sides of the puck, playing in all situations. Like we need a big face-off win. Like, okay, like let's go, like go take it, win this draw. Like I feel like that's something that really needs to grow in my game, not only for like myself, but for my team as well. Like, help the boys out, help the guys out. It's my third season now. Try and step in, be more of like a leader, be a little bit more vocal. That doesn't mean a letter or anything like that. It just means like, you're a little bit more vocal. You can help with some of the younger guys coming in, even though I'm a young guy myself. I've been in the organization, I've been with Waddy for a couple of years now, Coach Waddy. So it's like other areas of my game I want to grow and at the same time elevate offensively.
It's tough too. Like last year was a tougher season for the Griffins because there was a lot of guys going up throughout the year, especially late in the year. Like for you guys, like was there anybody that you had like real good chemistry with throughout the year that that you were like, you know what, Dan, like don't split us up. Like these are the two guys that I need to carry, or these two guys are helping me the most.
Yeah, I think like there's so many guys. Like we had such a good team like this year, especially up front. Like there were so many guys like I wanted to play with and like that I loved playing with. I think me and Maze like always have good chemistry, even from like my first year when we played together a little bit. Like we always just like know how to find each other, make little plays. Like I just like we get along well and we play well together. But he was hurt, he got called up. We only played like maybe 5 games together this year, but when we did, I think we played well. I love playing with Shiner. I think we work off each other really well. I think he keeps me a little bit in check too, just like with being a little bit more mature, like at the end of the shift, chip the puck in kind of things. And even like Dryzy, like I love playing with Dryzy because he's just works so hard, wins battles, and knows how to put the puck in. And like him around the net, he's so good, right? So and even like Snives, like I had really good chemistry with. Man, I'm gonna go through the whole list, but I had good chemistry with Snives. Like we made plays together, and then I think for me, like early in the season before I got hurt, me, Deuce, and Cross played like 10 games together,
Yep.
and we were like on the third line, but just like scoring every game, like just like so fun. You know, three young guys. Like I feel like our line had like a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Like we had like Deuce, hardworking finisher, good around the net. Cross, good shot, like skilled guy, makes plays. You know what I mean? Like can kind of facilitate in between. And like I remember we went on a run and I got hurt and we were pretty bummed out about that. And then there's guys that I didn't play with that I would have loved to play with, like Danny. He's a centerman, right? So I feel like we would work well together. And even like Waddy, I played on the power play with him. So honestly, I think that I could have played. I would have loved to play with every guy last year. We had a good.
I was say, yeah, you even dubbed that line of you and Cross the CHL line when we talked to you post game one night, and that was so much fun to watch you three play together.
Yeah, a Frenchman, a Western, and an OHL guy. It was fun for sure.
I was literally looking through the lineups and trying to see if you did play wing with Nate throughout the season at all, but I didn't see it.
No, so near the end of the year, just to like, they tried me on the wing a few times. I played with Dryzy and I was on the wing, and just again, like they've talked about in the past, they think it'd be good for my career. Like it's a good thing to learn, and like I want to learn it too, right? It's a good thing to have. You can play anywhere in the lineup. Like that's huge for me. So I think that the games on wing were like positive. Obviously, I have stuff to learn. The biggest thing for me is like I felt a little bit like out of the game. Like you don't touch the puck as much. Sometimes you're not in the play. And for me, that's a big part of my game. So it was about like finding those little pockets. I was still able to like make plays, but in the neutral zone, I feel like my game is, getting pucks in the neutral zone, like getting zone entries. And as a winger, you have to kind of know how to build speed. So that was kind of something that I have to work on and like had to be better with a little bit. So yeah.
Do you think it would be easier to go from the middle to the wing than from the wing to the middle?
That's a good question. I think for me, like I played center my whole life. Like I never played wing in my life until I played one preseason game on the wing. That's when, Horks was talking to me about it. And then this year. So I feel like for me, and the kind of like the way I play it was a bit of an adjustment. But generally, I think it's easier to go from center to wing than wing to center because less defensive responsibilities. You're not as tired as much. But it is like the hardest thing to do, I think, is pick up a puck on the wall and make a play on a breakout. It's so stressful.
It's brutal.
Like, so I think like for me, like it's definitely harder, but I have a lot of respect for wingers who are like good on the wall and like get pucks out. Like, because if they don't do that, then my game looks bad. You know what I mean? Like if I have a guy who's super good on the wall and gets me pucks in the middle, like for breakouts, like he's doing all the work, you know what I mean? Like he is putting me in such a good situation. So, yeah.
Now you've been in GR obviously a couple of years now. Did you feel like you took on more of like a leader role this year?
I mean, I think at the beginning of the year, no, I was still a little bit timid. It was only my second season kind of thing. But once I started getting super comfortable with the guys and myself, especially back from injury, it's like, okay, like I have a little bit of a voice now. Like I want to help some of the guys who have just come in or, even talking to the older guys. So yeah, I think so, but I'm not like I'm not the type of guy or like maybe leader that, will come in the dressing room and like talk a lot, stuff like that. Like I'll say something if I have to, but I let kind of the older guys do that and like that have more experience. For me, it's like trying to show maybe the younger guys, even like being like a leader, like in the gym, on practice, like there's other ways I can kind of implement my stuff, like staying out extra, working on young guys or guys like coming up in the lineup who, I don't know, like a little play or something that like I see on the ice. Like that's kind of where I'm more detailed in as like a leader.
Makes sense.
I want to talk about like some of your like new teammates that joined the team this year. Like Nate comes in.
Mm-hmm.
What stood out about his game right away? And off the ice, is he all business or does he like, like, you guys like to chirp each other?
So yeah, we live down the hall from each other this year. So we would hang out a bunch, me, Cross, and Danny. And then when Finney came over, we would hang out kind of the four of us, the CHLers. So I think for me, it's just like he's so solid in every area of the ice. You know what I mean? It's such an important thing to have. And he has so much, like tons of skill and extremely smart, but he's just like solid in every area, right? And it's something that like I want to learn from. And we would kind of like talk with each other, like build off each other. I'm saying like, what did you see here when you made that play? what are you thinking here when you're on a guy, and he's telling me like, what are you seeing? Like, we build off each other and we talk a lot of hockey because we're both pretty into it, and we're both around the same, pretty much around the same age, both play the same position, and I think it's, I hope we're teammates for many, many years because we got pretty close this year. So I got him into the Italian sauce and the soppressata and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Got him into the Sopranos, actually. We had the Sopranos group. Me,
Oh, there
Cross, and Danny, we'd always watch Sopranos together. So yeah.
That's awesome.
The Sopran Bros. That's what we call it. So yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Did you play against him in practice at all?
Danny?
Yeah.
Like just like doing like reps and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pretty much every day.
Is
Every
he the
practice.
hardest player you've ever played against?
Well, I mean, it's practice, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like not as, I don't know. It's different, right? In a game, like 100% maybe. I mean, I haven't played against him in a game. I only played with him, but I definitely can tell he's probably annoying to play against for sure because he's super good defensively. He's good offensively. Like, so we'd have some good battles for sure though in practice.
You got some extra teammates at the end of the season that kind of came in with Axel and MBN. Guys was just crazy skill, right? And we're, hoping to kind of go on that crazy playoff run at the end of the year. Like, what was it with those guys? Did you have like any crazy stories, anything fun? Like just, them coming over, trying to adjust to everything as well.
100%. Yeah. They're, well, off the ice, they're good guys. They're pretty funny, honestly. Like they're pretty goofy. Especially Mikey, Big Mike. He's funny. And even like Axel, like just like pretty quiet, but like when he talks, he's pretty funny. So I like him a lot. And on the ice, yeah, it's like such a big adjustment. It's hard. I think for Big Mike, like he plays a little bit of a more North American style, if you want to say. Like he kind of is a little bit grittier, uses his shot. Like I feel like he kind of plays that style already, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's still an adjustment. It's still hard. And for Axe, like obviously super, super skilled, super dynamic. He's going to have a great year, but it is an adjustment. You know what I mean? It's hard, like smaller ice, less time, like big bodies that like want to hit you, he's going to be fine, but like, it's definitely an adjustment. Like I had a huge adjustment, as well. So it's, again, it's about growing, and they're both going to have, great years next year. And I'm excited for it for sure. I think we're going to have a really, really solid team next year.
You and Axe on the power play was just beautiful magic. Just when you guys started, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is the fix we're looking for.
I love it. Like, I just love the way, he moves up there. I feel like we read off each other well. He's a righty. I love passing to righties. I don't know why, for some reason. It's just like mentally, I like passing to like a right-handed stick. So it was good, but honestly, like during the year, like Shy was so good up there too, right? Like he moves the puck, different styles, right? Like Shy is super smart, like kind of like cheeky on the power play, right? And we move the puck well, but and then with Axel, he comes in, he's moving his feet a lot, gets across, buys you some time. So they're both super good on the power play, and both kind of play different styles. So it worked well.
So you said you're like more of like a pass first guy. Like when you see Axel standing on the power play at the top of the face-off circle, do your eyes just get big? Like get him the puck.
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like it's coming from the other side, right? If I play the other side, 100%, because like I'd be hitting him for one-timers just all day. But for me, it's more like if I'm coming downhill and I see him climbing over, I just like, lay it behind me, let him walk in, right? And it was fun. Hopefully the power play will be good this year for sure, I think.
I want to ask about probably one of the coolest moments in pro hockey last season, and that was Dominic Shine getting that call up to Detroit finally, well deserved for him. What was the energy like in the room? How psyched were you guys for him with that situation?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like I think I don't know if you guys know, like I told the story like early in the season, like maybe like 2 months before he got called up. Me and Cross were at his house for dinner, kind of just like talking to him, and we were like, man, like I hope they just like call you up. put in so much work. Like, you've been in the organization so long. Like, they should just call you up. And he's like, man, like, I'm 30. Like, it's not going to happen. And I was like, I hope they do, man. Like, I hope they do. And I remember when I saw it, I was like, I just got home because I wasn't practicing with the team. I was hurt. I just got home from my workout and I see it. And I'm like, no way. Like, this is unbelievable. Actually, I was home. I was home at the time because I want to say it was around All-Star break, right?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I went home a couple days early for All-Star break. So I called him. And like, obviously, like, I don't know why I called him. He was like probably getting ready for his first game. But I sent him a nice text. He texted me back. He called me a few days later. And I remember one day I was home. I was at my buddy's house and we were watching the Calgary game and I was just going crazy. He got like a big chance and and I was like jumping around, like acting like an idiot because like I was just so happy. It was such a cool thing, right? And he got an assist that game too. So yeah, it was just, everyone was so happy for him. Like, been in the organization so long, always worked hard, like always, like literally gone through the ringer and like so deserving of that. And like, you know, I still think, you know, he's going to be a guy that's like, if they need a guy to come up, play, like he'll still be there. So I'm sure he'll get more games, but it was awesome seeing that. And I was so happy for him. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a moment that being a longtime Griffins fan, like seeing him get that shot, I was so excited for him because it couldn't have happened to a better guy.
No, and I remember last year, like we were talking and because we played a little bit together last year and I was like, man, like I love playing with you. He's like, yeah, like might be done, man. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Like you're not, like get out of here, man. Like don't even start with me. And I remember last year at camp, we had like a little joke, like every time he would do something or like go score, he'd come by and he'd be like, still got it. And we'd always say that to each other, like, oh, you still got it. So no, it was such a cool moment. I was so happy. I can't wait to see him. He FaceTimed me like last week. So it was cool. Talked to him and little Coop. So it was good. His kid. So yeah, it was cool.
He looked super dialed in at Traverse City. Like he looked like he was ready to go and he was going to make the team like right out of camp, to be honest with you.
He's again, like he's always like sneaky, like skilled, you know what I mean? Like just like good everywhere else. Like people always say, like play so hard, like good defensively, but like sneaky skill, like makes like plays where it's like, wow, like that was sick. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love him as a person. I love him as a player.
We want to talk about another big game that happened or a big moment from last year. Him and Watson both come back, and you guys absolutely steamroll Rockford.
Yeah,
8-3. What drove the energy of the game?
That was a fun one. Like we got Waddy back in the morning, and like when Waddy comes back, it's like it's the bat. Like everyone's like, he's just a fun guy to have there. You know what I mean? Like he's scary. I'm scared of him still, even though I know he likes me. I'm scared of him. But
big brother.
Yeah, like big brother. But so we got him back in the morning. We were pretty fired up. And then I come to the rink for the game and I see his Shines jersey in the stall with like no equipment. And I'm like, because he sat like right beside me and I was like, oh, like let's go. Like he's back. And we were playing together on the sheet and like everything was fun. Like playing sewer was fun. Pre-game meetings fun. Warm-ups fun. Like I'm goofing around. And like we just felt good and like we went into the game and honestly it was one of our best games. Like we played unreal. Even the next night in Rockford we had a really good game too. That was such a fun weekend. And when you're winning, and especially with our team last year, when we were winning games, like we were so tight as a team and like everything was so much fun. So yeah.
That was the one game I decided to go to as a fan last year and not media. And boy, did I pick the right game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was insane.
That
I
was
left poor Nick with all the duty of posting all the goals and stuff. He's like, I can't keep up.
It was a big one. No, that was so much fun.
It's also funny you mentioned still being like scared of Waddy. I remember the first time doing a post-game interview with him. I was like, what is this gonna be like? This is an intimidating dude. Then like the funniest, nicest dude post-game in post-game interviews. It was it's hilarious.
He's sometimes like he'll like I mess with him too a little bit just because like I don't know, I'm dumb, right? But like he'll mess with me and like I don't know if he's joking or not, and I'm like, all right, I gotta chill. Like this guy will just. But even like I said, like in practice, like when you like go against like we would always go against Danny's line. Him and Danny play together a lot, so like we were doing reps against them. Like it gets intense. Like he goes hard. And even in Traverse, I remember doing camp, like he goes hard and I love that, but like, I'm like, I got to keep my head up a little bit. Like this guy he's strong. He's so big, right? He's strong. And so it's good. Like he definitely pushed me and like pushed a lot of the guys into like going harder, you know what I mean? Which is huge.
What would you do to like mess with him?
I feel like I'm a young guy and like I love him, but like he's like out of touch with certain things, you know what I mean? Like
No, like what?
you know, just like he's out of touch with, you know, stuff that I say and like stuff that the young guys say or like do. Like he hated the way I dressed. Like he did not like how I dressed or like came to the rink. He's like, "What are you wearing, man?" I'm like, "Dude, like you just don't know it. You'll get there one day." And like little stuff like that. We were beside each other in the dry stall, so every day he'd see my outfits and like he called it like Toronto style. He's like, "Get out of here with that Toronto style, like dress like a man." And so he had good suits though, really good suits. I'll give him that. But, so like we'd get on each other for that, and like if I'd make like dumb jokes, like I don't really know if I can say what like dumb jokes I would say, but like he'd just be like, "Get out of here with that! Like, what are you doing, you idiot?" He's like, you're so dumb." So, but when he would mess with me, like he would get me every time. I wouldn't know he was joking, and then he'd just like laugh with like his two front teeth missing, and you're like, "Thank God!" Like I thought this guy was about to kill me. So yeah.
Oh. All right, now that you've been around the league for a little bit, who's the toughest D-man you've had to face around the AHL? And don't say lash off in practice just to butter him up either.
I do remember that though. That he gave me a mean cross check. I tell him that all the time. I also sorry, I'm going completely off top here, but
You're good.
we had a conversation, me and Lash, and he was talking about the Winter Classic game he played for in Detroit in 2013. And I think I was like 9 years old at the time. And I told him, I was like, I was at that game. I was at that game, and you know, it was a cold one. There was not a lot of bathrooms, and I had a little bit of an accident, and I told him about it. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But anyways, toughest D man, I would say. Do you mean like hardest to play against, or like toughest to like toughest on me, like always, like just, you know what I'm saying?
Could be both, honestly.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
take either.
I'm trying to think of like D man right now. You don't play a lot of. I'll say like offensively for sure. Like annoying in the ozone, like moves the puck well, skates so good, like the win and like can kill you is like Kyle Capobianco. Because I played against him my first year in Winnipeg, played against him this year in Texas, and like he flies out there and like really good offensively. He's probably that would be the number one for me. And then like just as far as like hard nose, like hard to play against, hard to beat 1-on-1, I would say, man, there's so many good D man. Like I feel like everyone's hard to play against, but you kind of go through like the roster right now. I mean, Val on Milwaukee is pretty like solid. Even like Del Gaizo, he's more offensive, but like he's good defensively. Milwaukee's just like a hard team to play against in general. I remember my first year they had this guy Roland McEwen. He was super good defensively, like really good two-way. And then who else? I'll go with those guys. I mean, we play the same 5 teams, right? So there's only
much
like
this year
you
either.
know what I mean? But like I'm trying to go through like I would say those guys. I would say actually another tough one. My first game, we only played them 4 times in my career, but my very first game, McDermott on Colorado Eagles. Scary guy. A scary guy. So those are probably the first names that come to mind. It was like my first game in the league, and like this guy looked like he's just terrifying. You know what I mean? So that's probably how people feel when they see Waddy. So now it's
can
nice
confirm,
to have
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, So yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Road trip's like such a big thing with like bonding, building a culture. What was the like funniest or best story from a road trip this year?
I got a few. Obviously, like the Sopran Bros. We went to a Brazilian steakhouse, all the young guys. That was fun. But early in the season, we went to Iowa. I think it was our first trip in Iowa, like maybe 7th game of the season. We went to Iowa, and I was rooming with Brogan Rafferty, and like we didn't room together, but like we're super close. And I was like, oh, we were so fired up. We were like, let's go. Like we went 2 days early, so fired up. We got to the hotel, and he's like, okay, like I'm gonna go with a couple of the other guys, like play poker. You want to come? And I was like, I just got in. I was like, man, like give me like an hour. Like I got a shower. Like I'm chilling. Like I'll meet you guys down there though, and we'll go for dinner. He's like, okay, perfect. So comes back to the room. It was like maybe 7 o'clock at night. He comes back to the room and he told me I was fully clothed, like in my jeans, like fully clothed, like ready to go out, but like sleeping on top of the whole bed, on top of the mattress with Entourage. I hooked up my computer and Entourage blasting on the TV, and I was just sleeping there. And he's like, because I got into Entourage this year, the show. Love that show. And so I was watching it full blast, and he had a good laugh about it. And then the next day, FaceTimed with my old teammate Nolan Stevens, also one of the funniest guys. And they were just shredding me apart for it. So that was a funny one. And just like team dinners, like it's just, I don't know. It's just actually, no, another one. Hang on. Sorry. I know I'm going off here, but
Oh, you're good.
This is good.
we went early in the year. We were in Springfield. We go to dinner with a massive group, and we see a couple of the other guys, right, at dinner. And hey, like, what's up? How's it going? Good to see you guys. Like chirping each other a little bit. The guys chirping me for whatever. But anyways, Rafferty was there. I come back to the hotel and I just see like a bed in the hallway. Full bed in the hallway. Full bed in the hallway. Full on bed, everything in the hallway. Bed frame, everything's in the hallway. And I already knew it was me. Like I was like, these guys. I was like, get these guys, man. I was like, these guys. So I go into my room and sure enough, it's my bed. So I go back out, I lay on the bed in the hallway, someone takes a picture. I think I have the picture. And it was Rafferty. They didn't tell me, but it was Rafferty. So I had to move my whole bed back into my room. That was probably the funniest one. Honestly, that was such a good prank. So
He got flurried.
yep, it was pretty funny. We did a bunch of pranks this year. It kind of got out of hand, but it was funny for sure. Raf's the best pranker on the team.
I had no idea Raph was the
Yeah.
prankster on this team.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
He got Coast good with
Oh.
sticky notes on his car. His whole car full of sticky notes.
It was
Yeah.
him that did that?
That was him. I'll out them both now, but it was him and Gettinger. He got Ghost. And yeah, and then yeah, so it was pretty funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Any other pranks you could share? I love pranks.
We actually I thought I was worried because we had these like meat sticks that were like given to us, and like they were good, but like they smelt so bad, and like guys would like open them and like break them in half and like put them in the back of your dry stall, and like so like your dry stall like just stinks. And like I had Cossa, me and Cossa were just going at it. He put him in I had this like really nice jacket. He put him in my jacket pocket and in my jeans, and they smelled so bad. So like I put him in his like hat and in his shoes. I put him in his goalie gloves, and I put baby powder in it. And like me and Cossa, honestly, like we took it so far. I came back one time, all my clothes was like wet and like in the freezer. So like that's like you gotta like yeah, it's the best, but like it sucks when it happens to you. I had a good one on Aston Reese my first year. He pranked me pretty good, and I filled up one of his sticks with water and I like taped it up back normal, like his exact tape job. So yeah, there's been a few, but mainly like I get pranked. So yeah, and I just remember Waddy, Austin. He walked by me. He's like, "Don't pull any of that prank stuff with me." He didn't say stuff. He's like, "Don't pull any of that prank stuff with me. I don't do well with that stuff." He's like, "I'll take it to the next level. I'll kill you." And I was like, "You got him, man. I won't mess with you." Because at first I thought it was him. I was like, "Yo, did you prank me?" He's like, He's like, "I don't prank. I don't do that. That's not me. I don't do that stuff." I was like, "Yeah, I got you, bro. Don't worry." So yeah.
He's gonna get you this year.
No, he doesn't prank. He doesn't prank, and I believe him. But don't accuse him of pranking. Don't accuse him of pranking. He doesn't like it. He'll get mad. So I learned that way. I learned that the hard way.
It's them goalies you got to watch out for.
Yeah, me and Coast go at it the most. It's so funny. So yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's gold. So last season, performance on ice was crazy. Like you did so well. And did you see like a little bit more attention off the ice? Like, did you see more fans recognizing you? Any like weird moments with fans? Like anybody ask you to sign like a brick or a shoe?
No. But there was one time I did. So like I have cousins in Edmonton, and my little cousin did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and she nominated me. So I was like, man, like I live in an apartment. How am I gonna do this? So I went to the rink one day and I was like, listen, like I just need you guys to do this for me. It's for my little cousin. I got to do it. And I went out in like it was like maybe April, May, so it was kind of cold out still. But I went out and like literally like uh I had nothing on basically. I went out in my core shorts, but like pretty much naked outside by the benches, and Finney dumped ice water all over me. And like Grand Rapids said something about it. And I remember there was a comment on Twitter, and it was like, "Did I just see Emmett Finney dump a bucket of ice water on Amadeus Lombardi?" So that was like kind of like the only thing I would say. Um, but yeah,
I remember
sometimes you
that
get
clip.
sometimes you get recognized, maybe like at the store and stuff. Small town, the fans are so supportive, so it's always pretty cool. It's definitely like a weird moment. It's like wow, like pretty crazy when you think about it. So yeah,
I was gonna say, is it crazy to see? Like, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to this stuff on the internet, and I hope for most of the time players don't. But like, there's so many fans rooting for you to make that next step. And we do a lot of guest spots on other Red Wings podcasts, things like that, and they're always asking when we think you're gonna make that step. Like, does that kind of blow your mind at this point where you're at in your career to already have people talking like that, or are you just excited about it?
yeah. I mean, a little bit of both. It's always good to have support. Like obviously, I have support, so much support from my family, but it's like it's your family. Of course, they're gonna believe in you. So when you get that from fans or people in and out of the hockey community, it's super refreshing. Number one, and number two, it gives you like a little bit of confidence in yourself. You know what? Like someone believes in me. That's huge. Obviously, like self-confidence and inner belief is number one, but just for someone to like recognize it and believe in you as well, it's a really cool feeling. And I just think that I got to keep my game growing in many, many ways, and hopefully achieve my dream. I know it was super cool moment when Carter got called up and played. I was super pumped for him, and I know he was super super excited for that. It was like a full circle moment, and so yeah.
All right, a fun one for you. If you could steal one skill from a teammate or a Red Wings player, a current one, who are you taking and what are you taking it, or what skill are you taking and who are you taking it from?
Man, that's such a good question. I mean, like ethically, like if we're thinking like logically here, like I'm taking probably like Austin Watson's like size and strength, or like a big guy's size or strength. If we're thinking ethically, right? But like
Right.
personally, like I'm taking Patrick Kane's hands for sure. Like
Yeah.
any day. Like I'm taking his sauce ability and his mitts. That's like you know what I mean? How do you not say that? But like if I'm like thinking, okay, like I gotta take the next step, what do I gotta choose? I'm gonna choose like maybe like Waddy's size and fighting ability and strength, or like Sider's like reverse hits ability and something like that. You know what I mean?
That's a good
So
one.
yeah,
That is a good one.
for sure.
Red and White game returns to Grand Rapids after a long time being up in Traverse City. How excited are you to play in that game in front of a way bigger crowd?
I think it's going to be cool. I honestly don't know what to expect, but I think it's going to be super super cool to just be back in Grand Rapids. A lot of driving, but super cool to be back in Grand Rapids for that game, and like have the fans of Grand Rapids who maybe don't get out to see as many Detroit games see all the Detroit players, see like the young guys, see the veterans kind of all connect. And I'm excited for it. Maybe I don't know if I'll have my place yet. Usually I like to wait just to like get my place because I'm lazy. But if I have my place, it'll be cool to kind of just set up and get some stuff organized. So I'm super excited for that, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I know fans are excited to have it back here in Grand Rapids. I know the driving is going to suck because you probably have last day of training camp the day before and then drive down to the game the next day, I would assume.
How far is do you guys know how far Traverse is from Grand Rapids?
2.5.
Oh, so it's like okay, you just a little pit stop, you go to Grand Rapids and then to Detroit. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That'll be cool for
Yeah.
sure. It's nice. Traverse City's beautiful, and it's a nice spot for camp, but I think like the game aspect of it, like the rink might be a little bit small for a game with those grown men and that kind of atmosphere. I think having it at Van Andel will be cool and make it better for sure.
They said tickets are selling fast too. I wouldn't be shocked to see it packed. So
That's
it'll be
awesome.
a fun one.
That's awesome.
My last one for you is just, were you excited to see Toronto return to the schedule this season, at least a couple
Yes.
games closer to home?
Yes, I was really pumped for it, especially because Bob told me we weren't going to come to Toronto last year. That I definitely missed that, just because, in the OHL, my family could come to like a decent amount of games, right? When we're playing teams like Kitchener, like they'll make the drive, or Guelphs, teams like that, right? For this year, them not getting out to see that many games, it was hard. It sucked for sure. So this year, having 2 games in Toronto, definitely have a ton of family there. I'll get to probably come home for a day, have a home cooked meal, see some family. That'll be super cool, and just have everyone there. Even like I'm pretty sure we have like a school day game. The one game is like 11 a.m. I actually just looked today because my nonna was asking me about tickets. So I feel like the school day game will be nice, and then I'll be able to come home, see some family, have a big dinner. That's a big thing in our house. Have a big dinner, some sauce, and get everyone together. So I'm excited for that for sure.
I know I was excited to see Toronto back on the schedule too. It just feels right.
It does, 100%. Great city.
We need more of those Central Division foes.
I agree.
In the AHL. So, all right, this is the last one for you. We asked you before if you love to win more than you hate to lose. Has that changed, or is it still the same answer?
I don't even remember what my answer was before. I think loving to win is got to be it, because like the feeling of like winning is so nice. Like after a game with your team, like the vibes are high. Everyone's joking with each other. Losing sucks, but like you could have a good game and lose and be like, okay, like we can build off that. Like we can build off that. We can get better. Like we lost, but we put up a hell of a fight. Like we'll be better next game. But like winning is such a good feeling. It's the best feeling. You know what I mean? If you have a not great game but still pull out the win, it's like way better than having a great game and losing, in my opinion. So I love to win.
Fives were always better post game after a win. Hearing the music blare, like you guys were all pumped up. It was a good feeling coming in. So
yeah, it's the best. Play cards on the way home. Cards is more fun. Everything. So it's good.
You talk about winning and losing. I just got one last one for you. Like, is learning to lose, like you go through the big losses, like the tough losses, not big losses, but tough losses in the playoffs. How does that mentally prepare you for now next season?
Yeah, great question. I think it prepares me just because sorry, my dog. Next year, when you're in those high pressure situations, in those big games, and you've been on both ends of it, you know what it feels like. It's like, I don't want to feel that way again. I know what I have to do to win. Like you have that experience. You know what I'm saying? And another point, like when I was younger playing minor hockey, I know it's minor hockey, but it's definitely different. Sorry, she's running by.
Oh, you're good.
So here, she's like on the couch, like this.
Oh, there we go.
Gloria, look. Yeah. Anyways, growing up, my dad, when I was younger, would always put me on, I guess, like not so great teams, and he's like, if you play bad, your team's going to lose. If you play good, you guys might win. You got to learn how to lose at a young age. So I think that kind of helped me a little bit, and like understanding that it is going to happen. You don't want it to happen. It sucks, but like you got to learn, and you got to learn how to win in those tight games. And I think that's another part of my game that needs to grow, and like will grow. And it's something that I'm working on, is just like in those high pressure situations, understanding how to win, like having that experience. So yeah, that was a great question. And yeah.
There. Nice. Well, that's all we have for you, man. Thank you so much again for taking time every year so far to come and talk to us. You know, it's an absolute pleasure. It's basically just going to have to continue forever now at this point.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I love it. It gives me a little bit of 100%. It gives me a little bit of a time to kind of get ready for the season. It's like, all right, it's coming back. I got that interview. It's coming back, you know? So, and it makes me a little bit more excited too. So I can't wait to get over there and see all the boys and get back on the ice. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, enjoy the rest of the off season, man. And I can't wait to see you back on the ice.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that.
And welcome back to just the three of us. Thank you again to Amadeus Lombardi for taking time out of his off season 3 years in a row now to talk to us. It's always a pleasure. And boy, I did not expect to get some of the stories we got out of him this year. I can tell he's a little more comfortable around the room to be able to share in those stories with us. But what was your guys' biggest takeaway from the interview? Nick, I'm going to go to you first.
So he has hair this year. That was the first thing. Because last time we interviewed him, he was completely, no hair at all business, ready to go for next season. So that was, surprising at first. But just the stories, like him and Cossa just going back and forth with each other all year. That was hilarious. And the bed prank was really good because I actually pulled that prank on my roommate in college, and he was kind of a little bit more like detail oriented, and so we set up his room the exact same way in the basement of our townhouse. So like when he said that story, I was just like, yeah, this completely resonated with me. And it's a classic prank. It's a great prank to pull. So I love that aspect. That was the biggest thing that I loved. The pranks.
Gives me an
I love the
idea for
pranks.
next time you're out of town.
You wouldn't be able to do it. I know you have coast in my house, but you wouldn't be able to do it.
Travis, what about you, man? This is your first time getting to interview Amadeus Lombardi, obviously being in Toledo and not being on the show in the previous times we've talked to him. So
He's just so well spoken. That's probably one of the biggest takeaways I have, and just how he wants to get better. Like you take away when he's talking about what can I do to get better. I think he talked about it 3 or 4 times, and then the ability to move to the wing. What does that look like? They pitched that idea to him going against Nate in practice. Like it's just the competitive nature that I think he has. And eventually I think you'll see it in Detroit. Like he's probably one of the more like obviously skilled Griffins players, right? Like you seen it last year. He had this breakout season, and you just hope that it continues to develop well with him. Like he continues to develop and eventually finds himself in Detroit, because I think he has the talent and the skill. It's just about, like he mentioned, rounding out a few areas of his game that he needs to work on and wants to work on. And I think he'll be well on his way. So I think it was just mainly his competitive nature and how great of a kid he is, because he's a very well-spoken kid for his age.
yeah, 100%. I think for me, well, the first one is Brogan Rafford. He's a prankster. What? I did not see that coming, honestly. That was a shock to me. Maybe he had time to think of those pranks driving back and forth to Detroit that one season. But outside of that, just it seemed like how much closer the group was last year compared to the year before even. And, the results at the end of the year, kind of the same, right? Same result. But at the same time, you see this group of young prospects and these established veterans in Grand Rapids really growing closer and closer. It kind of just gets you really excited for what the season can be. Because, Travis, well enough what a tight knit group can do for a hockey team. Looking at Toledo, seeing as this group grows closer together and gets that bond, it gets you excited for the season. It really does.
Well, if they bring back that was a big thing, right? Like if they run it back with a lot of them same guys there for most of the season, you're going to see that continue, right? And look at what Toledo's done down here. They build a core, they build a culture, they grow on it every year, and that's now dated back like 10 years. So it's got to start somewhere. And like Dan Watson has always talked about having a tight room. I think it was last year they talked about the Texas trip and how huge that was for their team chemistry last year. Ammo's making it sound like the room was even tighter this year. You're probably going to have most of them guys back, if not 90% of them guys back, right? So that's another thing that they can take from last year and then transition it into this year.
Yeah, especially because they went through the ups and downs. Like they're going to know how to approach that if they start to get on the snide again. So it gets me excited. I'm ready for hockey season now. Once we start doing these interviews more and more with current players, it starts to get you a little gassed up. But let us know in the comments on YouTube what you thought was your favorite moment for the interview. What was your biggest takeaway? And obviously, like he said, don't prank Austin Watson. So we've all learned something today, and that's the other takeaway. So with that, we'll wrap this episode up. We hope you enjoyed that interview, and thank you again to Amadeus Lombardi and, of course, the Grand Rapids Griffins for helping us out getting that lined up. And we do have more to come from Grand Rapids. Don't worry, folks. Ammo's not the only Griffin we're going to be talking to this offseason, so stay tuned for future interviews. And like we said in the beginning of the episode, if you haven't yet, subscribe and follow the show wherever you listen to it at. We greatly appreciate it, and that's how you'll know when these interviews are going to be coming up. I know you're a Toledo fan. We've got a couple really solid ones lined up here that are currently with the Walleye that you guys aren't going to want to miss. So make sure you're staying tuned for those. Before we do wrap up the episode, though, we got to thank our sponsors of the show. Of course, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN. And when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST. It saves a few bucks off your order, but also supports the show directly. We appreciate it. And of course, they're a great company. The quality of the stuff they make is unreal. And I'm ready to order some more hoodies for this season, honestly. I need to hit up the website and see what's new before the season starts. And of course, on top of that, we got to thank our Patreon subscribers. If you didn't know, our Patreon is free for the summer, mainly to give us a little bit of time to, think things over for the summer and see what you guys really want over there. But also at the same time to give you guys the opportunity to check out what we've offered all season long over there. You get unedited episodes, bonus content, and we've got some other fun plans for the season over there. So head over to patreon.com/Hockeytown West podcast to check out what we got over there. We've got to thank the subscribers that are already there. Even though it's free, we still got to thank you.
Yeah, we got Hey Bay Ted, Joe Schroeder, listening to Ryan Hanna in the shower. F50 Alex, Tyler Eagles, Regan Baker, CB55, which I believe is Claire Bowden. Yep. Dan Heated, John in Florida, Mike Lizcano, Elaine Grace, Griffin, Randy Zick, Derek, Lori, Alan. Travis, you're a subscriber? That's it.
That was last year. Like, I wanted to be able to watch it.
The all-time subscriber list right there instead of the active ones.
That was like before it even took off. Like, I just wanted to see what it was about and how. Like, I mainly wanted to see how it was structured.
Either way, listening to Ryan Hanna in the shower just took me out. Oh my god. Anyways, thank you all for the love and support. If you've subscribed in the past, currently are, or plan to in the future, thank you guys. We appreciate it. With that, wrap the episode up. Everybody have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you again next week with, I don't know what that interview will be on that one, but there'll be an interview. But until then, as always, go Griffins, go Walleye.
Love you. Bye.
He held it on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your host, Nick at GR Hockey Guy and Brandon at BrandonGR Hockey.